What's up, guys? This is the November 21st, 2011 Tree Woe Show Monday Night Raw review. If you're wondering where Jake is, tune in tomorrow at about 2 Eastern Time, as I will post our Q&A video where a very heated exchange occurred. In the Q&A video, a question brought to us by one of you, our subscribers. It was pretty funny. So tune in tomorrow to see that hashtag heel. The show opens up with the new WWE Champion, CM Punk, coming out to the ring, and he talks about how he is the new face of the WWE, something he should have been the entire time. He is interrupted by a man who needs no introduction, but does need a glass of water, John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis. Basically, he comes out and tries to tell Punk what to do, like always. Punk's telling him that you're not even up on the times. These people, the people in the arena, you call them a universe. They are fans. WWE fans. John Laurinaitis says, well, and the fans next week are going to be excited because they will see you versus Alberto Del Rio in the rematch this week. Next week on Raw. But tonight it'll be champion versus champion, CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler later tonight, because champion versus champion matches never happen, right, Chase Oliver? And Punk's like, well, how about you for once listen to these fans? They don't want to see me versus Dolph Ziggler. They want to see Zack Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler. We want Ryder, Chance, and Sue. He informs us that Ryder's already busy later tonight facing Del Rio. So, hey, at least there's matches announced for tonight and next week. Awesome. And then Michael Cole tells us that these people aren't the only fans of Zack Ryder, and it plays the snippet, because most of it could not be played on PG television, but a snippet of The Rock's promo, or whatever, promo talk speech that he gave after the camera stopped Survivor Series, where he talks about how he's a fan of Ryder too. And that's the cue as Zack Ryder comes out our first match of the night to take on Alberto Del Rio. And tell me if you've seen this before. Alberto Del Rio loses the championship. The next night on Raw, he is aggressive as ever. Nothing changed tonight as he came out and laid it on Zack Ryder. What do you really expect? Aggressive Del Rio is back. He wins by the armbar very quickly. We then another match. Wow, no promo or anything in between. We get Sheamus versus Jack Swagger in not so much a Survivor Series rematch, but just more so that the reason Sheamus got eliminated was because he wouldn't stop laying the smackdown on Jack Swagger in the corner. So this match was alright. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, Sheamus was doing some cool stuff. Jack Swagger wasn't so much. Sorry, I missed a route. But match ends when Swagger has Sheamus in the ankle lock. Sheamus rolls through, brogue kick. Sheamus wins. I know you're all shocked because Sheamus never wins ever. Right. It shows Kevin Nash walking backstage out to the ring. So when we came back for commercial, we are greeted by that lovely, lovely theme of the NWO, which makes me never be able to hate Kevin Nash when that song is playing. And he comes out, basically talks about the Clique and how when he came back to WWE, he thought he had a friend in Triple H, but he was more of a boss, and how the main event of Survivor Series should have been Triple H and Kevin Nash versus Rock Cena. But he is the real survivor of the group, of the Clique, I guess, is what he was referring to. And then we go to commercial and we come back and we get Cody Rhodes in the ring. Theme song blaring. Gotta love that. Cody Rhodes. Definitely in the Fave 5. He basically came out and compared himself to a rabid dog that got rid of his muzzle, in referring to his mask being taken off, which is good. Hopefully, I've been waiting for the mask to come off. I know a lot of people have been waiting for the mask to come off. So hopefully this leads to better things. It's looking like he is. He says he's unbeatable. And who else does an unbeatable person need to face than the person that came out next? The Italian stallion, Santino Marella. Oh well, at least Santino's on TV. Crossroads pretty quick into the match after he ducked the Cobra, which is really hard to do. So shout out to Cody Rhodes. And after this match, Rhodes gets out of the ring and stares down an announcer. Booker T? Maybe all the things on SmackDown where he's been giving Booker T a bag for during that whole gimmick is starting to lead towards something. Throws water in Booker T's face. Is a feud upcoming between these two? I hope so. But then again, who really wants to see an old superstar that's not active all the time come back and feud with a younger guy, right? But yeah. Anyways, look forward to that. Should be good. Those two could probably put on some cool matches. We get Dolph Ziggler backstage. He's saying not only was he the only person to have two matches, he's the only person to win two matches last night. Shaking off the fact that he was eliminated first on the team. He was on the team, so it counts as a W. And he is the new face of WWE, not CM Punk. Hyping up their match, which was the 1 hour main event. It came up next. CM Punk versus Dolph, champion versus champion. Dolph Ziggler is apparently not perfection anymore. His theme song does not mention it anymore, so he must have done something. This match stole the show. You understand that? Stole the show. These guys. The ending was a little botched. I mean, you could tell that the whole basis was he was supposed to catch Ziggler and then hit it, but he kind of turned it. But Punk saved it a little bit. He turned it like he was trying to do a power bomb and kind of looked pissed, picked him up, hit the GTS for the win. I mean, this was a great match for the best in the world against a guy who has no future or will never rise to anything, right? People on YouTube that talk about Dolph Ziggler, not going to mention any names. Hashtag OTRS. Anyways, look forward to that. And we get a vignette of what appears to be Kane. It's Kane. And it just keeps showing him. And then at the end, the mask drops. Is masked Kane going to come back? Let's hope so. Because that will hopefully make Kane relevant again, as apparently they're hyping up his return to be something of a big deal, which is not something that goes along with the name Kane over the last little bit, so that'd be pretty cool to see. We get Big Show coming out, and he just says last night that he proved he was better than Mark Henry, and that he will see Mark Henry again, and he proved that giants can fly. And yeah, so no word on if Mark Henry is gonna be on SmackDown or if he's injured or out or what's gonna happen. So I'll have to stay tuned for Friday or tomorrow night if you read spoilers. And then in the only Divas segment of the night, I believe, I don't think there was a Divas match tonight. Huh. Maybe that's why this show was, whatever. It's Kelly and Alicia backstage playing WWE 12 as the game comes out in a few hours. So yeah, then Beth and Phoenix come in. Beth and Natalia come in and make fun of them, saying that the only thing that's not realistic is in the game when we beat you, your characters don't cry like in real life, and they leave. Just as awesome as it could. That was the best Diva segment of all time because it was over like that. Then we get the leader of Team Barrett, Wade Barrett, against Kofi Kingston, still without Evan Bourne. Poor guy. Should have never with whoever he did from the main event. Match was going for a while. Barrett looked like he was about to wrap it up, but then Randy Orton comes out, interrupts the match, theme song blaring and everything. Hey, the man comes out, you gotta let his presence known. Play that music. But it goes back and forth for a while. Barrett ends up hitting the wasteland at the end on Kofi, and he turns towards Orton and hits it, looking right at Orton. 1, 2, 3. So Wade Barrett wins, and they're keeping his push going. Good. And it's apparent that he's going into a feud with Randy Orton. So let's hope he survives it. We all know I love Randy Orton. We all know I love Wade Barrett. Let's see how this goes. I'm not going to say anything. We'll see how it goes. Mike Barrett. Wow. Wade Barrett grabs the mic and announces himself the winner, saying, just in case you didn't catch that, Randy, the winner, Wade Barrett. Randy Orton just looks at him, gives him one of those, the fakes, and whoo, Wade Barrett drops the night, gets all nervous. Oh my gosh. So building towards feuds on SmackDown. SmackDown's logical. They got feuds going. Raw doesn't really look like they know what they're gonna do with the top guy on their brand in John Cena, especially after this last segment. The main event was not a match. It was hyped up the entire night that John Cena was going to address being rock bottom last night at Survivor Series. So like every commercial, we'd get the picture of the Rock hitting the rock bottom or Cena doing this to the Rock, just building up Cena coming out. He gets a much better reception tonight, and by much better reception tonight, I mean about 9 people cheered him tonight, which is better than the 2 from last night. but still a lot of boos, which I don't know. I don't know what. I think people are getting sick of it. I mean, it's usually half and half, but lately it is nothing close to half and half. But he basically comes out and talks about last night about how The Rock came out. He put boots to asses. He did, and he was, what do you expect? He was just talking about how it was two of the best, and then right when he says two of the best, Awesome Truth interrupts. They're on the show. They don't just go away after they lose. So Awesome Truth comes out. Miz is just kind of like, oh, finish your sentence. See, you're two of the biggest what? Biggest egos. He's like, you guys, The Rock's got the big ego. You won't even admit that The Rock showed you up last night. You guys got the biggest egos. Your ego won't even allow you to do that. And he's like, basically just kind of going through the chants that were being said last night. He's like, you won't even admit that all the people in Madison Square Garden were just chanting to The Rock, don't tag Cena. So, of course, don't tag Cena chant breaks out here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Gotta love that. Followed by a Fruity Pebbles chant, of course. They basically say that no one wanted to see him. And then R-Truth chimes in. And he says, you're talking about how big WrestleMania is going to be. He's like, you're really talking about what WrestleMania needs to be. It needs to be competitive. But according to last night, WrestleMania is going to be The Rock taking his boot, and connecting it directly to Cena's ass, thus confirming the equation of boots to asses. And Cena snaps on him and starts, I'm going to knock the 10 off of you. I'm going to rip your braids out. And fans are just booing still. Like, Cena just could not win tonight. But he starts talking about, oh, The Miz really thinks this about you, R-Truth, and R-Truth, he really thinks this about The Miz. And then, R-Truth also said that C Nation will turn into See You Later Nation after WrestleMania when The Rock beats him. Something like that. But, so Cena attempts to turn Awesome Truth on one another, so then Cena leaves. You shouldn't be booing me, you should be booing yourselves, and leaves them. And then Awesome Truth kind of looks at each other, and R-Truth's just like, yo, would you say all that about me? And Miz is like, yeah, it's John Cena. He's trying to turn us against one another. Whatever. They get into a stare down. R-Truth hits the Miz. Miz falls to the mat, starts defending himself like, oh no, R-Truth, don't hit me. They get up. Miz convinces him. Finally, he's like, hey, it's John Cena. We're on the same team here. Let's go get Cena. So they take their suits off, head up the ramp to go get Cena. But just as we get to the top of the ramp, the Miz flips R-Truth around. Skull-crushing finale on R-Truth. Awesome Truth is coming to an end, folks. Is it going to be a... Doesn't look like a Miz face turn. It looks like an R-Truth face turn, maybe? Maybe they're just going to stay heels and feud. I don't know. We'll have to see, but it appears that the days of Awesome Truth are over, thanks to John Cena. So, that ended the show. So, we didn't... No real build up at all to TLC yet, especially since they didn't announce if Mark Henry's okay, so we don't know what's happening there. I mean, it's the first week. It's the night after, so you don't need to start announcing them for sure, but there's a lot of things. I have no idea what's going on, but you see Punk, you don't know who he's going to be facing, because apparently he's facing Del Rio he's getting his rematch next week on Raw, so you don't know what's going to happen there. You don't know if Ryder's going to get his shot at Ziggler. They kind of mentioned it, Punk did, but nothing really. Don't know what Henry's doing. Rock's gone again, so what's Cena going to do? I mean, you'd think logically it would be against Miz and Truth again, but now they're on fighting each other, so really don't know. Have to stay tuned. We'll find out together. Again, subscribe somewhere up there. Like this. Comment down here. Whoops, down here. And stay tuned for our Q&A tomorrow. And I'm also going to post in the description. I don't know if a lot of you caught on to this, but during one of the Twitter things on the TV, it like kind of went fuzzy, and there's a YouTube URL. I mean, some of you have probably already seen it, but I will put the link to that in the bottom. It's a little cryptic message from WWE about January 2nd, 2012. Could it be Undertaker? Could it be Jericho? Is it building upon the Kane more? I don't know. I'll put the link in the bottom, so if you haven't seen it, you can check it out. Tell me what you think about it. But until then, we'll see you later. From the People's Champ of the Trio Woe Show, you have a good night, America and other countries watching this YouTube channel.